You can go to other realities, you can destroy a goddamn reality, but you don't mess with time.
Who in the...
Punk?
Wait, haven't I seen you before?
I'm not even here for him.
Oh wait, no,
This
that's...
Raz guy.
Sorry.
I'm here
Dreamwalking.
because there's something that I need to tell you, Deadeye.
What?
I haven't been fully honest about my
No
position.
fucking shit. That...
What then?
Listen, I care about this omniverse about just as much as I care about my life, but it's getting too unstable, and everything could be gone if I just... I know what's happening and why it's collapsing, but I didn't
Why?
say anything because of Alter.
Alter?
Recently I've been getting involved with Alter because I haven't been in this reality, and I thought that they might be the key to fixing all of this. If we have one stable government, then no more time, then no more going into different universes, everything can be kept under control in this reality. But they're crazy. Kato Thorne is working with Alter. He's been using the time machine to go back in time and collect artifacts. This is probably going to get me killed. I got off any bugs I could, but they have Rick Sanchez on their side. He could have an invisible one on me. They could have a Mike on this island. But I need to tell you this. Kato Thorne is the reason behind all of this. It's splitting the fabric of reality. Half of the... I can't even fully fathom it. And the reason why all this is...
Well, at least we got our info.
No reboot card. The hell is that type of technology?
I mean, pretty standard in my reality.
It's not standard in this reality. Maybe somewhere else in the multiverse.
You know,
Alter's never been this. Alter's never been this powerful before.
Maybe it's this if I do get out of this reality. You guys have it way worse than I did.
That's it. That makes sense.
Well then, Raptor.
Alter... Wait. Alter have been recruiting people from different realities, making them stronger, collecting a dream army to make Alter Room supreme. They
Alter's
literally have...
collected technology from these other realities as well, because I've never seen them able to just do that. It's probably a failsafe on all of their... Hold on. Something similar happened to what's his name? Scratch!
The corruption?
Yeah, but it wasn't the corruption that killed him. He was defeated by the Peace Syndicate, and then he just died. So I wonder how long Alter's had this technology, and they must have it only on... They must have a limited amount of it, and they must have it only on their people. Because if they had an unlimited source, then what stops them from using it on other people?
They're...
There.
We gotta get to the main island. We can't be here. Well, that's the... And here's another problem. No one knows where Alter's base is. It's in space.
How the hell did they get it up there?
Who fucking knows?
Well, I definitely don't.
I was on
Not
my
that I
phone this
should
morning.
care, knowing this ain't my place, but...
Deadeye, if it
Place.
helps. I was on my phone this morning, and I was looking at a news article. The Avengers have one of their members. It's a cyborg. They're descripting it.
What has that got to do with anything?
If it's just a cyborg, it's like a living cybernetic organism type shit. Look, if it is a robot, they can find its last history of where it was, and if they can dissect it, maybe they can find their base.
Unless Alter encrypts all of that, which they probably have already, because Alter is always 7 steps ahead of everyone else. It low-key reminds me of my old self. Chaos Agent, he's no one to be underestimated. And clearly he's been planning this for some time.
Yeah, but he's dead.
People think that he's acting foolish, that he doesn't fully kill, he messes with a lot of his victims, he doesn't kill them. And a lot of people think he's stupid for that, but there's probably a reason behind it all. I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm just gonna be the one to say it.
Very smart, very smart.
I know this is gonna sound so out of pocket, but what the fuck are you guys doing here? There could be more things happening right now.
Do you think I wanted to be here?
Glyph, I understand you, but
We need to figure out how to send you back to your reality.
Before any of that, there's a familiar element on you. I've sensed it before.
What about it?
The blade. What's in it?
Soul fire.
Hagiri. What are you doing with my nephew?
you're what?
Maybe from your multiverse, but from here he's a cold-blooded killer. A destroyer. And I can't let that go.
Isn't there only supposed to be one of him?
Nope.
In this multiverse. But you're from another multiverse. So maybe he exists in that multiverse. That wouldn't be any of my business.
That's what he meant by splitting off by mitosis. He exists in other multiverses.
Because that's how the flow of time and space works.
Yet he told me he was... Wait, this is his origin place. This is where he was made.
Don't shoot, please don't shoot. I'm not a hostile. I'm a Dyer, but I promise I'm not a hostile.
Are you the Dyer or just a Dyer?
I'm the Young Avenger, Spider-Man.
Of a variant, I'm guessing?
Okay, something that I want to clarify with you is that Hagiri originated from this reality because he was created by the gods.
Yeah.
But the soul fire exists in other multiverses, so whatever you're talking about literally isn't possible with the flow of time. It isn't possible for him to originate here and then also be in another reality or in another multiverse. That's just not how time works.
Exists within my imagination, like...
I don't doubt that because the soul fire, it probably does exist in your multiverse. The soul fire the soul fire is a mixture of elements, but it's fueled by rage and hate.
Speaking of soul fire,
That's what created Hagiri. The gods all wielded different powers, and their combined hate is what created him. Is what combined all of those powers. I don't know much about the origins of Hagiri, but I assumed that they all must have fought and used their powers against each other, combining them slowly, creating the soul fire.
You should probably take him and find a way back, but you two should probably head to see what the fuck is going on with our multiverse.
The funny thing about this,
I'm gonna send you to Doctor Strange. You should talk to him.
the funny thing about all of this is that they have my daughter, and if they can do that, I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen.
Alter has your daughter.
Yes.
We might have a lead.
Can't you track her power then? Do you not know how to do that?
I do. How do you think I got here?
Okay, guys.
Well, yeah, you're able to track my power, but are you able to track other divine entities?
I might have a solution.
I have a lot of the soul fire, so it's easy to pinpoint my location because I have a lot of power, but your daughter probably doesn't have as much. But you could still track it.
Okay.
You know how
I could try.
I have a solution.
Yes.
I
What's up with spider people showing up with solutions?
I hate
No.
solutions.
Just
I love
I'm a young Avenger, but I also kind of worked under his wing.
Just say what you gotta say, man.
So I was recently in combat with 2 altar members. I died, but as far as I know that they have them like capture reboot cards or not, that might be a good starting place if you guys want to interrogate and I don't know, maybe try and find your daughter or something.
That okay. I'm not too worried about that.
I think it's like there was this black
Well,
kid.
your daughter has powers, so how has she not been able to escape Alter?
They have oh god. The
Unless
thing they
they're-
used up. They have a mass scale like. Oh god. Oh no. Oh my god. They muffled my powers somehow, so I'm guessing they have something that can do the same, but on a bigger scale.
You know, he was
And they must have it in their base.
he was
And they're
really
using that said muffler to contain one of the deadliest power sources in the multiverse.
Hey Deadeye.
Alter got live. What?
I don't know anything about this multiverse mumbo jumbo, but all I know is that guy, he really did care about all of this. I don't want him to just die in vain. That's why I came here. If like, as
We're going
far
to
as I
fix the
know,
multiverse.
I've
If
been
we
hanging-
don't, then it's the end of everything.
I've been hanging around Deadpool and Doctor Strange enough to know that as far as I can tell, this multiverse is kind of doomed. So please fix it with his knowledge.
Well,
What does that mean?
Strange. I'm assuming Strange has been keeping an eye on the multiverse, or if he hasn't, then that explains his most recent thing. I've been directly keeping an eye on the multiverse, but that's the thing. I can't stop the realities from being destroyed. They're colliding with each other, and then their destruction are causing the destruction of other realities.
What does
Trillions.
that?
Trillions and trillions of realities, Raptor,
No,
are
I
being
mean like.
destroyed every single day in the multiverse.
That's one of my questions, but another one is, what does that mean for this? What does it
What-
mean for? No, I mean this. Me
This-
and Ultima.
This is the verdict. The simplest way to fix the multiverse is the gods.
So
They created it.
we unite them or something?
But here's the problem with uniting the gods. Not only do they pretty much hate each other, I know Aftermath and Infinity, they met up and then fought. And now they're a bit split again. But they're kind of still trying to cooperate with each other. But I know that when they met up again, they did fight. They did work to free Serenade. But that's what's even more scary.
Serenade.
People who have been other... Serenade is Infinity's wife.
Oh.
People who have been other than Nothing's influence, the Nothing's influence has kind of vanished. Serenade was released from it. Serenade was the Herald. Serenade was released from it.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, that Bites guy, he hasn't been hearing from the Nothing. Everyone who's been under the Nothing's influence or have had the Nothing's reach, it's just completely gone. Which is a little concerning. You guys know that Triarch Nox isn't the Nothing's form, right?
Yeah.
No?
No. Yeah.
The Nothing took control of Triarch Nox. Triarch Nox is actually his own entity. He's the Triarch of Night.
Yeah, I know, because Emperor Dyrus didn't manage to wasn't it destroy him that one time, but was not to him.
Emperor Dyrus wouldn't be able to take down the Nothing. The Nothing doesn't have a physical form. It's a force.
Yeah.
And the Nothing's gone quiet, which is concerning. It might be because the multiverse is ending as we know it, and that would give him what he wants. Absolutely nothing. Or something else, maybe to do with the last reality, but I wouldn't know. We do know that the Nothing is in cahoots with the last reality and is kind of their guiding hand. Especially ever since the Queen died.
Queen?
Cube
What?
The
Queen.
Cube Queen.
I
The Cube
don't-
Queen was the ruler of the last reality. Then she died. So the Nothing is now kind of their ruler, I guess you could say. But he's not really that too involved with the last reality. Which the last reality are still destroying realities.
Okay.
So you got the last reality. So that's why I was saying the multiverse was in real big trouble when Hagiri was alive, when Emperor Dyrus was around, and when the last reality was around. That was already trillions of realities being destroyed every single day. But now, because they've destroyed so many realities, it's created this domino effect to where those realities are causing the destruction of other realities, and the realities are colliding with each other. So now it's creating this huge shockwave effect across the multiverse.
And now we have time travel in the mix, which isn't making anything better.
And time travel is directly affecting our universe and the ones around it, the boundaries between the 7 ones, which are the most important ones in the multiverse, because if those rupture, then that could mean the deaths and destruction of unfathomable numbers across the multiverse.
There are 7
Which is
different
why-
Cato Thorns doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, well, sort of the exact same thing. We know that Cato Thorne in this reality didn't travel back in time as much as the other ones did. He traveled about like 800-ish times, is what Strange said.
Yes.
The other ones, it's way worse.
Like
Including the one from the Nexus reality, it's way worse.
trillion? Or above?
I couldn't tell you, but I know that it's way worse than the one that's from this reality. Because the Cato Thorne from this reality originates from the last reality, which means he didn't really come upon his time machine until way later in his timeline. But the other Cato Thorns, they could have came across it a lot quicker in their timelines, and could have been using it thousands and thousands and millions times more than our Cato Thorn. Like Cato Thorn, essentially, in some of these realities, is so deadly because if you kill him, then he comes back. Because prior to that he traveled back in time and created a paradox.
What the hell?
So kind of like a checkpoint.
Yeah, essentially. Luckily, the Cato Thorn in our reality, to my knowledge, hasn't done that, but then again, no one's been able to kill him, so...
I don't.
But right now he's stripped off his sword.
Yeah. I will say the Cato Thorn from this reality, I don't think he's weaker necessarily, I think he's more human than the rest. Because I've been peeping into these other realities, and I'm talking, the Cato Thorns from those ones are straight ruthless. Like, they presented themselves as the Revenant. And just went on a killing spree. A killing spree.
Wait. A
Cato
Revenant's
Thorn's
like a...
vampire.
So, are we on the lucky end of the spectrum, or is this still bad?
Our reality is on the lucky of it, but it's still bad because it's happening in all of them. And the timeline is rupturing. And the Nexus point can't interweave because every time you go back in time, it creates a new timeline. And only a certain amount of timelines are supposed to exist within the flow of time in a certain universe. So when you keep going back in time and you keep creating timelines, it will start to literally overload the 0 point and cause everything around it to start to rupture and eventually implode.
Which is already bad enough, because I saw the 0 point and it was encased, so...
I'm so glad I didn't say yes to anything.
He came to you?
Yeah.
For what?
I'll be brutally honest. When I was first thinking about it, he came down and asked me of a favor, and in return he would help me against Omega Knight to get the kingdom back. He wanted me to go back in time to retrieve his time machine.
Why does he want his time machine is what I'm... If what 2099 says is true, Alter must have their own time machine.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So if they have their own time machine, then why would Thorn want his? Like, there must be a reason why he wants his specifically and not Alter's. Like, is he not really working with Alter? Does he know? To be honest, I wouldn't trust Alter either. But if he's working with Alter and he at least trusts them, then he wouldn't really want his own time machine back, since he has one at his disposal. But he probably is aware of Alter's ideals.
I don't believe that's the only thing he wanted me to do.
What?
He wanted me to identify... When he wanted me to look for his time machine and retrieve it, he also told me as well in the day to identify anyone that went back in time with the heisters.
Hmm.
Great. So, wait, that spark of energy I felt was... He didn't believe me, but I was right. I fucking knew it. It was on the barn. It was near the barn. It was... What do I do? What do we do?
Okay, Raptor, you might need to actually go back in time. As
What?
dangerous as it is for the timeline, we need someone to go back in time. It can't be Thorn. If Thorn uses Alter's time machine to go back in time, he's gonna mess things up. But we do need someone who can go back in time and warn the people that are in the past that they're causing the timeline to be at risk. And we need to try to pull everyone out of the past. Because it's creating a bunch of timelines.
Could you use can someone use like a third vision
And
just in case? Because I'm...
one thing. Here's one thing. Here's one thing. If the Nexus point gets too ruptured by timelines, guess who's going to take notice?
Infinity?
No. Worse.
Zero.
Zero. Zero's the creator of the Zero Point. He's the embodiment of the Zero Point.
And what happens if he does get alerted?
He'll reset the timeline. And guess what that means?
We're not gonna be ourselves. We're gonna be a whole new person.
If he reboots the timeline, then all this is gone. Everything. Which is why I said the gods are the only ones who can fix it, but in order to fix it,
It comes at a cost, and it's
But
us.
I have a problem. If
What?
I come back from the past, you know, he mentioned that you'd give me some sort of device to pull me out, but he wants me to retrieve / identify his time machine. If I come back without telling him anything, and if I don't find it, then I'm personally screwed myself when I come back to the present.
Why don't you just deal with the man now? Like,
well, how about this? You have a Falcon Scout on you, right?
Yeah.
Unless they take it from you, you could use your Falcon Scout to get a scan of the area, and then your people back here who have control over the Falcon Scouts can track its location, which would in turn give us the location to Alter's base.
Yeah. Wait. So if I sent out a scan to Alter's base before I went back in time, that means you will have the location now to be back in time, and they couldn't pull me out until Kato wants me to do it. And as long as we're going off the facts that yous are telling me, Kato doesn't care much for Alter. He's doing something for his own
What's
need.
his time machine back? He doesn't
Exactly.
care about Alter. He's probably just using them. But he's probably aware that Alter's ideals, that if he just ups and betrays them, then he's gonna be fucked. So he's probably trying to play it cool with them. For now, at least.
Hold on, let me just scan the area. I just want to make sure Kato's not here. Okay. Because he popped out of nowhere earlier on. I was talking to Ultima about it. If he was here, then this whole idea would be fucked, but...
It's actually better that the gods aren't aware of this. Zero's in exile somewhere, and the Infinity and Aftermath are looking for Zero.
Then I have to do this quick.
I doubt they're gonna find him. And I think I know where Zero exiled himself. Which they wouldn't be able to reach him.
I was gonna ask where, but I don't want to know.
Inside the Nexus Point.
That makes sense.
Which is why I said if it gets too overloaded with timelines, he's going to notice it.
And that is going to be a problem. Okay.
I'll go back. Wow. If there's a chance that things can go possibly semi-normal, and that I get beneficial out of this, I'll do it. What do you need me to do, Deadeye?
You need to go find Cato Thorn. And you need to accept his offer.
Don't worry.
Then, they're probably going to bring you to the Altar base. And when that happens, you need to get a scan sent out. We will be able to track it. Me and Punk can teleport. So as soon as that signal comes in, we can teleport straight to the Altar base.
Here.
Oh, if all this goes well, let's probably get my daughter back in one piece.
Punk. Oh. Just in case, take one of these pads. They're connected straight. Here, just come to me. Come to me. Take this pad here.
Okay.
It's a connection between Falcon Scouts. You should get the signal.
Okie dokie.
I just need to make sure that I go back before they find out that I scanned the place.
There's also something that we need to account for.
Yes.
If Alter's base moves in space. I would assume it's stationary, but we don't know. We don't even know how they got it up to space. But if it moves through space, then that means it's never in one spot. So we would need to respond to the signal quickly before their base moves too far away.
Yes.
I can send Punk a text. No, we'll let him know when I'm in the Altar base.
Don't do that.
They can scan like
Altar
phone
has
signals and shit.
Yeah, Altar has and they have comm interrupters, shit like that.
Oh.
So you probably shouldn't also use your comms while you're in there. They'll be
Okay.
able to hack it immediately. They have the best tech people on their team.
Just in case, you should turn everything off.
In fact, I was about to say you should leave your phone and your comm here.
Oh, that is
Right.
a lot better.
Because if you leave it here and you don't bring it to their base within their radius and their signal, they won't be able to. I'm telling you, they'll be able to hack into it immediately.
Yeah.
Just leave it here.
You know what?
So now you're going in dark.
Saying that, I'm gonna leave my AI here too. I'm not letting that happen.
I should probably go and find Kato.
I'll teleport you to the main island. That's where he most likely is.
Okay.
Alright,
I'll try my
Raptor.
best.
Do you want to leave your armor here and all that?
Yeah, could I get changed if that's okay?
Go ahead.
Right.
Okay.
Something seems a little poetic about this. I honestly don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're getting ourselves into.
I don't know either.
I'm too old for this shit.
I
I've always had the underlying guilt that all of this is just my fault. I did free the multiverse, after all. I never fixed it, like I promised, because I can't fix it. I tried to fix it. It didn't work. All I did was end up destroying realities. I stopped, just gave up the power. Theoretically, and this is kind of what I wanted to explain when Raptor wasn't around. Theoretically, if we were to kill all of the gods and take their power, then someone skilled enough with their powers could perhaps fix the timeline.
What are you implying?
I don't know. Just thought. So many problems. So many problems with the time stream and the timeline. And the temporal 0 points.
Does it get any easier?
No, it doesn't at all.
The funny thing about this is, if I was younger, I would take the easy way.
What's that?
Let everything happen.
We can't sit around and let everything happen like y'all used to. We need action. Otherwise, what we know and love will cease to exist.
I'm ready.
Please. Didn't think so. Alright, Raptor. Time to go to the main island for you.
See you around,
See you on
punk.
the other side. We'll be
Good
waiting.
job.
Going with your theory, I don't want to just murder them if that is the case.
I don't think we would be able to anymore. Zero's probably too strong. And who knows how Infinity managed to kill him? We don't know. My only theory is that Infinity got Aftermath first and then killed it and then killed Zero. Maybe perhaps caught him off guard or something. But statistically speaking, Infinity stands no chance against Zero. None of us do. Zero could single-handedly take out the Nothing, take on the Nothing. We couldn't take on Zero. We would all die. He's the embodiment of the 0 point. He could just look at us and we're gone. Just like that, out of existence.
Thing that scares me.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing about Zero, he doesn't speak.
People have all this power and they can do almost anything, in fact. And they do nothing.
Maybe that's for the better. I always thought that Zero not using his powers was weakness. But as I grew older, I figured, no. He's probably not using the full extent of his powers because, well, if he does, then everyone and anything has the chance of just being fucked 12 ways to Sunday.
I just want to be able to do something, anything.
All we can do is try to keep down danger in the multiverse itself while we pray that there's a way to start to fix all this. Meaning we have to stop the return of Hagiri, stop the return of Dyrus, because they're key opponents. Key components.
I should have never left. I left. The whole reason why I left was because I wanted to get a handle on my powers, and I couldn't even do that. I was practically kept in a four-way cage, and I couldn't do anything. Because if I did, the new altar from that reality would take my powers like they already fucking did and use it
You're a
for
lot
themselves.
stronger than you think, Punk. You just haven't tapped into that ability.
I don't want to. I don't know what's gonna happen if I do that.
And your discovery of the divine is what spread it into the multiverse. You know that, right?
Yes.
After you discovered divine, that was the nexus point in time. And started getting discovered all over the multiverse. Now we have these beings that have power of creation and destruction, and 9 times out of 10 they just use it to destroy said reality. And that causes the shockwave effect where it destroys the reality next to it, and then so on.
I'm gonna say it's my fault too.
Multiverse is in one big clusterfuck right now, and I'm sorry to break it to you, Punk. And this is what scares me the most, is that what if we can't fix it? Burning things to the ground is easy. Starting over is easy. But fixing what's broken is a monument, is a task of mountainous size. Especially something as big as the multiverse. It would be easier if the gods just wiped it clean, started over. Probably wouldn't even create beings like me and you. Probably wouldn't even create power sources like Divine and Soulfire.
Probably get rid
It
of
would
them.
stop it all. They would get rid of it. All of it.
Had I?
The gods' biggest weakness is that they could never get along. If they simply cooperated, they could have prevented all of this. I took advantage of their conflict amongst each other. That's the only way that I rose to power, because they could never agree with each other. That's how I was able to undermine them for so long, and got the title the Bane of the Gods. Yet, their weakness wasn't me. Their weakness was their own egos, their own hubris. And it was mainly just aftermath and infinity. Which is why I think that if Zero does come back, and he does destroy everything, he's also going to destroy infinity and aftermath.
Did I?
What?
I'll tell you something.
Shoot.
Ever since I was a pumpkin on my dad's back, I always envisioned a world of peace, prosperity where no one fought. I wanted to achieve this. I wanted this. And I feel like it was my brother that inspired that hope in me. He told me I could do anything, as long as I put my mind to it. Lately, I feel as if I can't do anything. But it might sound crazy, but maybe we should start over.
That's
Not by-
precisely what I was thinking.
Not by their will, by ours.
And how exactly would we achieve that?
I don't know yet.
That's the idea, is that we could stop the timelines from being destroyed, stop the temporal 0 points from being overloaded with branching timelines. That's the goal. But it might be an impossible task. You know, I'm gonna tell you something that I've never told anyone else. And after I tell you, and the words are out there, that's probably gonna be the next one. It's probably gonna spread across the multiverse. Like when I revealed that there were 3 gods to Raz. There's an ancient text that belongs to Zero. All of the gods, their names aren't Zero, Aftermath, and Infinity. But what's interesting is that Infinity and Aftermath don't, like, you can't figure out, like, there's supposed to be these superstitious stories that you can't figure out their names because you can't. All we know is that Infinity's last name is Grande. That's it. We don't know their origin, we don't know anything, and then even less is known about Aftermath. But I know Zero's name.
My mouth is closed.
It's Ouroboros.
What is that one snake thing?
It's a saying that everything that happens is meant to happen, and it's on a loop. Constantly. The end is the beginning. The destruction is the creation. And I think that's exactly what's happening with Zero's story. If I'm correct, and Zero did in fact create Infinity and Aftermath, like children that he had to watch over that never could quite get along with each other. If he created Aftermath and Infinity, then him destroying them and resetting everything and destroying everything and starting anew would be the loop. That would be the loop. To begin again. Eventually he would create 2 more entities that would go on to wield other forms of power and watch over the multiverse, and then all over again. A loop. And I don't think this is the first time that this has happened. I think Zero's the key. But so little is known about Zero that it's almost impossible. He's like an enigma. But one thing is known about Zero. He has a daughter. But did he create her with his powers? Or did he fall in love with somebody? No one knows. We know that Aftermath created his children. We know that Infinity fell in love with Serenade. But Zero's a black hole, quite literally. And like I said, his name implies... I feel his name implies the fate of the multiverse. The end means a new beginning. The destruction is the creation. An Ouroboros loop. And it happens again and again and again. Because it's supposed to. Because it has to. Zero theoretically destroying everything, meaning that nothing would be in existence, meaning the nothing would get what it wants. Nothing. But then, the hard reset. The nexus point springs into being, creates the temporal 0 points that bind to all other realities, creating this domino effect of all the realities being created, and everyone all to Zero's design. Eventually, the multiverse would become too big for just Zero to watch over. So he would create two other gods who had specific roles over the multiverse. But these gods didn't get along, and Zero had to often keep them in check. Eventually, a man would spring into being that would cause the destruction of these gods. Me. You see, nothing can exist in order forever. Have you ever heard the phrase, when the universe wants to break free, it manifests chaos?
Yes.
That's me. I'm chaos. I'm the man that broke the multiverse. And from directly breaking the multiverse, though very long in time, would create the destruction of the multiverse. I'm chaos. The gods were order, I'm chaos.
That's that I. Even if that is the case, think of it this way. You're two forces that have to collide. It was going to happen eventually, even if it wasn't you. It couldn't be stopped. And after you told me this, I know what I want. I remember when you were the god of all gods, someone told us that yes, our group had to take up the mantle.
You want to know why? Who suggested one of you take up the mantle? Was it Grimy?
I believe so.
Grimy wasn't created by the gods. You know this, right?
Yes, he was.
Do you know where Grimy comes from?
I think so, but you might have to tell me.
Grimy wasn't created by the gods. Many believe that he was created by the Nothing.
Okay, well that throws my theory out the window.
But if he was created by the Nothing, then why wouldn't he be serving him? And if he was created by the Nothing, then how does he have these powers of creation that goes beyond the limits of anything else? I don't believe he was created by the Nothing. I believe that Grimy is meant to be the one who ends the loop. But he doesn't realize that. No one does. But he indirectly almost did. Because if one of you picked up the mantle, then you could have seen all of reality fit to how your design would be. And I'm assuming that you would do a good job. But that's the thing. That's why the loop always is broken, because at that point in the timeline, none of you are ready. So no one accepts. So the power gets casted to Ariana, who doesn't know how to work those powers at all. And while she's trying to figure out how to use them, cracks in the multiverse continue to get bigger and bigger. And then by the time that the gods return, they can't be bothered to go back to watching over the multiverse. All Aftermath cares about is hate and vengeance, and he's consumed by it. Infinity flees, while Aftermath silently hunts him down. Eventually Aftermath decides to create his children and try to find happiness through them. And then we know that Infinity tries to go on to stop the Nothing's influence within his life. So all of the gods become distracted after they're brought back. So the multiverse continues to crumble. Zero? Where's he at? Well, he goes. Because it's just easier for him to let everything burn. It's easier for him to reset everything. Maybe he's been through this before. I don't think that this is the first time this has ever happened. I think it's happened many times. Many, many times. Whether zero is two, I don't know. Maybe when a new nexus point is created, a new form of him is created, which means the loop is truly unable to end, because he would never be able to move on from his past mistakes, creating zero, or creating infinity and aftermath, to which he eventually would have to destroy them to reset everything.
I think I know what I want to do.
What?
I want to find Zero.
One problem with that, he would need to go to the Nexus reality. And he would need to reach the Nexus point. And here's where I have to tell you that this is a suicide mission. No one can get close to the Nexus point. The radiation will kill you. The only reason why I was able to approach it was from the confines behind the alien mothership's walls, which of course, the last reality. So they were able to shield against the 0 point's temporal radiation. But no one could be exposed to it. The only one who can is Zero, because he made it. Not even the other gods can. They'll die. So no one can reach Zero. No one can. It's a dead end. If that's where he is, then no one can reach him.
I'm not gonna let that stop me. I can't. I won't. Not after all of this.
And what are you gonna do then, boy, if you get to Zero? Convince him to fix the multiverse?